Okay, so now I'm going to look at self-awareness based on another tool called Mindmeister. It's a mind mapping tool, and I thought this would be a great way of creating a connected chart, Venn diagram like-ish, brainstorm like map that shows exactly how the students themselves view themselves or place them with the things that you're working on in your classroom. Evaluating the book that they're reading or evaluating the project that they're working on based on their personal emotions and connections to that. So this is Mindmeister. It is a single sign-on with Google. So your students would choose this. Again, it's your students logging in to this tool. They're building something. And as soon as I click on that sign up with Google, it will allow me to look at my Google account, access my Google account. Since I'm already logged into the Google account that I want to use, it recognized it. The students may have to choose their name from a list or something of that sort. Now here is an example of one that we've used Mindmeister for, not for student awareness or self-awareness, but it just kind of shows you all the facets of how you can analyze something, break it up, tear it down, more bubbles, you know, just kind of expanding on that. If I want to create a brand new one, I just can go up here and do new mind map. I can also create a folder to be able to organize these a little bit better. But I'm just going to hit new mind map, and I can do blank, or I can do one that's already set up for me template wise. So I'm just going to go a brand new one, and it's asking me if I want to personalize or upgrade. I don't want to. I just want to keep the free version. And I can do everything I want with the free version, which is build things. So as soon as I click on that plus sign, as long as I've not gone over the amount of mind maps I can have for the free version, which I think is 3 or 4, somewhere around there. So the students would have no trouble if they just use this once. It gives me an automatic one bubble that I can build from my main idea, if you will. And then I could type me in there, okay? So, and whenever I want to add an idea, I just click add, and it automatically makes that connection from here. My strengths. And then I'm going to click back on this main one and then have another bubble come off of that one. Weaknesses. And if you want to, you know, expand off of something else, so off of my strengths, I just click on strengths and talk about it. Okay. You can even see I had to think for a little bit and dig deep and find out, you know, what am I aware of that I'm strong about? And it's kind of nice for students to think about that as well. Their strengths. What are my strengths? Well, you know, how would I define my strengths? How would I define weaknesses? Why do I think that's a weakness? And then also to connect to your curriculum, what are the strengths of that person in that book, and how do my strengths compare to them? Their strength is they're caring, and then they're loving, and they think of others. That's one of my strengths, I think. Yeah, I think of others, and I'm, you know, so you're watching the students trying to decide. One, they have to figure out what they know about the thing you're doing in the class. These are the list, and then to do the fun part is like, me. I get to think about me as in relation to that thing that I'm doing, whether it's a time period. Okay, so how does my life compare or differ from the life of Jean Valjean in Les Miserables, if I'm reading that book in my class? How is my life comparable to the Count of Monte Cristo in the book that maybe my classroom is reading? And then they're getting points from that based on their understanding main points from that book and conflicts in that book and situations in that book, because they're reflecting on themselves. Now, I could continue to click and add and click and add. I can also add different connections. So if I wanted to add a relationship, so maybe I'm going to move this over to another bubble or this bubble down here, I could click on that and then just, make that connection right there. So now I have this relationship that's going in a circular motion. Maybe this one should have gone to that one. Maybe it's also a weakness. It's a weakness and a strength. If I want to change the text or the bubbles, I can go in and click on those things and alter them as needed. And I can add little icons. I can go to the background color here because it does text and background. And now it's changing the background color. I don't want white anymore. I want gray. And then I can also insert images and video and that kind of stuff. And these little icons. So if I wanted to say we're doing this first, or this is a check mark, yes, we've done that already, or kind of thing. So that's all basically what the building process is of a Mindmeister. When I'm finished, I can share that with people just like I would in Google, a little bit different looking, but I could click on that and type in an email and invite them to help me with it. And I do believe the free version has some limits to how you're sharing it, but I was able to share my free version with like 4 other individuals and we were fine. You can also get the link to share, copy that, put it in the Google Classroom. Another way is also you could publish this map. It will give itself a URL. It's just like when you publish a Google slide or a Google Doc or something of that sort, allows you to put that on a website. And then I'm going to go to my share settings, and anyone who has the link can edit. I can change that to only view, and then I could post it on the stream of the Google Classroom, or I could submit it into the comments of Schoology or some other learning management system you may be using. So that's Mindmeister. And keep in mind, if I really just wanted to teach self-awareness, I could say, let's build a Mindmeister and, tell me about your strengths, your weaknesses, personality qualities, physical qualities, those kind of things. So you could just straight out do self-awareness. Let's get aware of ourselves, become aware of ourselves through this Mindmeister map building tool. But I also could connect it to the content that I'm working on. I think that makes more sense because the students need to be engaged in the content. So why not have them think about it through their eyes and through their perspective?